This
but still we
conference
can
will now be recorded.
there is some process still going on there. Fine. So
This
let's go ahead.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So let's go ahead with few more sObjects to understand with. Fine. So let's move ahead with the next sObject. Let's see the navigation first, and then we'll try to work out with that sObject. So can you see something called forecast here? Fine. Do you want me to slightly zoom it so that it's even more clear visible? Or is the font size okay on the other side?
So slightly zoom it.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's try to work something with this forecast. And you see introducing forecast, predict, plan, sales cycle. So they have given some content. You can see some beautiful diagram here, some diagram, which is showing you some arrow marks, some directions to head forward. Fine, but nothing seems to be here. I don't see any new button. I don't see any fields, nothing as such. A similar situation we encountered yesterday. What did we do for that? Yesterday we had a situation with some sObject where we were not able to see anything with respect to that sObject. So there wasn't any tab for it. There was nothing. Then what did we do yesterday? Can you recollect that?
Activated it to setup.
Okay. So anything else you can add?
Customize the sObject.
Which sObject was that?
Poet.
Port, right? So what did we do for that?
Like setup, customize.
Go.
Okay. So we are basically in which environment?
SAS.
This is classic.
No. I'm not
Classic.
speaking of the interface. Which environment we are?
SAS.
We are in
SAS.
SAS. So where is that? We'll have to navigate.
Pass.
Pass.
You have to get into the PAS mode, right? So click setup. You will toggle to your PAS. Good. Now what to do on the PAS? What do we do here? We started with some customize, isn't it?
Build, customize.
Yeah, customize. So now we are trying to work with which one?
Forecast.
Good. We're trying to work with forecast. So you again have here forecast settings. Yeah. So let's get into the settings of forecast. So it again says enable forecasts. Okay, enable it. So opportunity revenue, additional 4 allowed, all these. Okay. It says enable manager adjustments, enable owner adjustments. You want to do it, you do, or you ignore it also. At this stage, it hardly matters to us. And your forecast period is monthly. Starting on current month, you can display the forecast of next 6 months. So it shows May financial year 2020, October fiscal or financial, whichever way you're comfortable with. So financial year or fiscal year 2020. So for that 6 months period, it is trying to show you a forecast. Fine. And the corporate currency currently used is USD. You can change it to any other thing also. Whichever user is working, you can change it to their currency and then save it. Okay, you can ignore this. So now you have the forecast for you. So let's now click on forecasts. So, thanks. Now you see some content here, some forecasting, some content shows opportunity name, account name, amount, close date, stage, probability, forecast, owner. It is trying to display some information. Fine. And if I try to pull this down, fine, I'm just pulling this down to see what exactly is there. So May month, what is in forecast, June, July, August, September, October, and fine, only 6 months we have given the In the adjustments we gave there only 6 months, right? In the settings what we had. So it is giving you the forecast of the business, but you see there is nothing in the forecast. Why like that? There's no business, everything is like 0 0 0 0 0. Why this? Why this way? What exactly is forecast basically? What's forecast? We all see weather forecast right from childhood, we are familiar weather forecasting. Now what forecasting is this?
Predicting the business.
Regarding sale of the product.
Yeah, so good, it is predicting the sales. It is predicting the sales. What is the volume of sales we have? Fine, so that's predicting, basically predicting the sales. So other way around, it's like your pipeline, business in pipeline. So whatever is the business in pipeline, based on that you can forecast, right? Next, how much volume of business you would be having, you generally forecast it. So that's predicting your sales or business in pipeline, enables us to forecast what would happen in the future. Now for that forecasting, definitely we require some opportunities, and you will be working with these opportunities. As of now we are not working with any opportunity. So the only one opportunity we had yesterday, we already closed that opportunity. I mean, it is all over. So once that opportunity is over, now there is nothing for us to work with. Fine. And we don't see any business there. So now there is nothing to focus. Once you find new opportunities coming up, new things going around, automatically your forecasting will start changing. What is the volume of business you would like to have in 1 month, next 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? You know, it keeps growing. So we will see a lot of things happening in this when you get more leads and start working. So for that, we'll have to step back slightly and again go to our lead phase, try to generate a lead, connect it with one campaign, convert it, come to the opportunity, keep working with the opportunity. So you see here the opportunity name, the account name with which you will be working, and that gives you a summary of forecasting the business. Fine. So as of now, 1 second, Ria, madam call this. Million. Yeah. So you have this current business in hand, so your forecasting will help us to do all those things. So we'll not directly now fiddle with the forecasting, but we know like something was missing, we had to enable it. So by default, quotes and forecasts are disabled. Once we enable it, then only we can start using them. Until then we cannot use them. So that was something with respect to our forecast. Will not touch it immediately, will not try to feed data into it and start working with it. Let's move ahead with few more sObjects. So now let's say there is something called contracts. So what is this contract? What do you mean? What does it mean by a contract? What does it do? Yesterday we discussed about something called as quote, right? What does quote give? It is the quotation, or the, basically in a very simple language you can call it as a price estimation, isn't it? Quotation was a price estimation. What if someone accepts our quote? Did we have a quote acceptance signature there? We had yesterday, isn't it? In that PDF we had that quote acceptance signature.
Yes, sir.
So once quote is accepted, then next what should happen in the business? What should start happening in the business? Fine.
Contract.
Bond.
Yeah, good. Now both the parties would enter into a contract. Both would start entering into a contract. Now they start up a contract. So now say new. So now account name. We are trying to establish business with which company? It was BMW yesterday, right? So fine, do we have that? Or is it a separate account which I'm using today? Yeah, it's altogether a new account which I'm using. Fine, just give me another second. Let me try to see if something works. Let me go ahead. So login.salesforce.com. Good. So let's go to our opportunities. Let us see if we have BMW here. Yeah, so this is the account we were working yesterday, right? So now let's come back to the contracts. So we have some contracts here, and then select a new contract which we would be signing now. Account name. So the current company which is actually using a CRM, fine, a company which is using a CRM is now entering into an agreement with a company called BMW. So customer signed. So who is going to sign it on the other side? Who's the authorized person on the other side? We're speaking to Bhavani the other day, right? So customer signed title. What is she there? So she's a CEO on the other side. On which date is it signed? You can give the current day, whatever it is. Price book. So we were working with which price book? We were working with COVID-19. That's the reason why, I again moved back into this particular org, because lots of data was there which we have fed. So in case I use that account again, I'll have to redo the entire thing. Fine. So because we have already done this, we are just adding to yesterday's content. So we just moved ahead. Now contract start date. When is the contract going to start from? So let's say we have 1 month in hand. So from June 19th, the contract is going to start. And this contract is for how many months? Let's say the contract is for 24 months. Owner expiration notice. Do you want to send a notice to them before your contract expires? Yes, 30 days ahead, you send them a notice like we are coming to the end of a contract. Would you like to extend it or whatever it is? Fine. Now, company signed by. Now, on behalf of our company, who is going to sign? So in this org, we just have only one user, right? So definitely that's the user who's going to sign it. So that's the name what we gave, classic org. So, and on what date is that user signing it? So the current date. So now there is a contract. Left hand side, you see the external party who's involved in the business with us, and the right hand side is all about the current company which is using the CRM and how they would be dealing with business. So now you can enter all that billing street details and all, and then you say save. So what is a contract basically? So what is a contract? What is it? Agreement between the current company, isn't it? It's the current company and an account who has accepted our quote. So agreement between the current company and an account who has accepted our quotation, right? So that's what a contract is. What does it deal with? It deals with the authorized people on both the sides. It deals with the authorized people on both the sides. Fine. And it also deals with the duration for which they would be in business. And it also deals with like which price book we have agreed for the business. Because once we say quotation, it's all about pricing, right? So there should be some price book for reference based on which you're actually working on. So this is how a contract works. So it's an agreement between current company and the account who has accepted our quote, and it deals with the authorized people, the duration, and the price book with which we are actually going to enter into the business. So this is something related to contract. Now, once the contract is done, fine. Once the contract is done, now it becomes a order. Now the company is going to release it as a order. So what needs to be done? What needs to be delivered? So next on the tab side, we have something called as orders. So now let's go to the orders and click new. So what orders, which orders? If you check out here, so account name, we are working with BMW, right? Fine. Order start date, whichever day you want to start the order. So your order is going to start 1 month from now, or whatever date you choose according to the business. Fine. So authorized on the other side, it's again Bhavani who's authorized for it. Fine. And company authorized by. So we are the person here who says like, I know that company and we are authorizing it. You give your billing details and all the other information. Now it is asking you the contract number. So we already have signed a contract with them, right? So now take that contract number. We already are into a contract with them. Fine. So status, we are in a draft state. Again, the shipping details and all, because you're taking an order, you'll have to deliver it somewhere. Fine. So billing has a different address. Shipping might have a different address altogether. Billing takes place where, the financial team and everyone is working. Shipping is where, the core work is going on, which requires your supplies. So that way, that is how we have the order now. So the order is ready between both the organizations. The order has a number, the contract has a number. So now we have moved further. We have also seen the order. Fine. What is the order? It's the it's the work engagement to start the processing. So it's the work engagement to start the processing. So whatever needs to be done, we'll be starting it based on that order. So both the parties are involved. Both the parties are involved. So both the parties are involved in it, and you can go ahead with things. It works. So that's our order for now. Based on the order, we now release whatever is needed. The shipment is sent to them and they get it. Once they get it, once the client receives our order, once it is delivered, fine. So let's take it this way. Once the order is delivered, now what do we consider that as? What is that which it becomes in the business? So we are not focusing on the next two as objects. I'll try to click on this, down arrow, try to select something. But products we have already used. Reports and dashboards, we are still a bit far away. Quote, we are already done with it. Zoo has got nothing to do here. So I'll add this plus here. I'll click on that plus and I see the very fourth tab in the sequence, which is termed as assets. Fine. So what is this assets? I'll just call it as new. Now it says asset name. So which asset do you have? So asset name is like BMW 1 first service. Now, what product are you delivering to them? Fine. Yesterday we have seen we have created multiple products. So let's say this is for QHD TV. Serial number, give some serial number 000123. You give some number. Install date, when you have installed it to them, when they will start using. Quantity, yesterday we have seen some quantity and all contents there, right? Probably it was about 100 or 200 or 300. I don't remember it exactly. So you can load that content into it. So let's check opportunity, open a new tab. So let us see what was the quantity of QHD TVs that Bhavani has ordered with us. So we have quantities. How much was that? It's just 25. So my quantity is 25. Price, what's the price? Price is about $90,000. Fine, then let's go there, specify the price. Price is about 90,000. Good. Account, to whom have you sold it? So it's to BMW. Have done it. Who was the point of contact for us there? So Bhavani was the point of contact for us there. Now let us say save. Okay, good. So we entered some product information and all, but what exactly does this asset mean? What exactly does an asset mean? Financially, we all know what's an asset. Something which gives us an income. Fine. Then we call it as an asset. Fine. Something which represents our financial value, we call it as an asset. That's in finance. Fine. But this is not financial domain. What we are speaking, we are in the domain of CRM. So what exactly an asset means? Fine. Asset here implies the number of products that which we have sold to our customers. That's our asset. Fine. If Samsung puts it this way, S20 plus mobiles we have sold to 50,000 customers. Now that means 50,000 customers are actually their assets, or the number of products they have sold, like 50,000, because one person buys one mobile, right? You can't distribute or share or keep something in common. So each person is one there, so you consider it as like 50,000 units sold. So the volume of business or the number of products sold in our business is actually considered as asset. Fine. So with respect to our training, if Oscar is there, with respect to our training, what would you consider as an asset for the institution? What you can consider as an asset for the institution? Do you think the ACs and projectors in the institution are assets of the institution? What exactly is the asset of the institution? Yeah, anyone, please.
Student.
What do you think is an asset?
Students.
Students are assets. Oh, good. Can you be, can you penetrate more and think? Can you think a bit deeper? Like, what can we consider as asset, or what do we consider as assets? Okay, so generally, what is an asset? Number of units sold in the business. Number of units sold in the business is considered as an asset. So from our training point of view, it's other way. I mean, you can say the number of students who have joined us are our assets. That's one way. But to be, more having quality on hand, you can put it this way: the number of students whom we have placed are actually our assets. The students to whom we have provided employment, those are our assets. Those candidates we can consider as our asset. That is when you raise your quality bar. But when you just speak in lay terms, then the number of students who join will actually become the assets. So the number of units sold in the business is treated as an asset, and asset is again considered with your product, the number of quantities, the price at which you have sold. So that entirely comes under our asset. So that's asset for us. Fine. So very simple content. How to create an asset? Again, very simple. You don't see it on your regular tabs of the page. We went down, we navigated, and we selected asset, and we entered the data for that asset. Fine. So this was about assets. So a lot of things come up now once we are done with assets. Fine. So the regular process ends here. Once we considered someone as an asset in a general sales point of view, now the sales cycle is actually over. So our sales cycle started when? Started with what? Where did our sales cycle start with? Fine. Marketing started somewhere here. Marketing started with something called campaign, isn't it? Marketing started with campaign. Campaign gave us some leads.
Leads.
Campaign gave us some leads. This is where generally your marketing ends. Marketing has given you leads. It's done. Now starts the process of sales. So now the sales process has started. Fine. And what all did we have here? That lead got converted into what? Lead
Account.
got converted. Good. Lead got converted into account,
Opportunities.
contact, and opportunity.
Right
Isn't it?
on the
Lead
opposite.
into all these. Then next what? Then next what? Lead got
Product and price.
on contact and opportunity. Nice. Good. Then what did we do with that opportunity? Yeah, we said opportunity is the revenue potential of that account. So revenue, we didn't want it to give a random value. So to make it very specific and clear calculated value, we made use of something called as product plus price book. Is it? Yeah, good. We combined both product as well as price book. Then we got the actual value of that opportunity. But this value is in our organization. What is the point if I have this revenue value in my organization? I have to send it to the person who's going to buy it from me, isn't it? So
Quote.
then I created something called quote, so that the other person, the other B, it is all B2B what we were speaking, right? So the other person who's getting engaged in business with us, we have actually sent it to that person. And fine. So who is the person on the other side who received our quote? So our quote was sent to the contact in that specific account, isn't it? So contact of that specific account, it could be one or multiple, whichever way you choose it. So it goes to that specific contact, and we have shared an email with them. Once they agree, fine. Once they agree, what did we do? Once they agree,
we'll get contract.
good. So once the account agrees, we enter into something called as contract. We enter into a contract with them. Once the contract is done, now what we should do? We need to take it up as an order and we need to deliver that order. So once the order is delivered, now what happens? Once the order is delivered, whatever we have
Asset.
delivered, all that good, all that becomes an
assets for
yeah, that's all asset in our business. So this is where the sales cycle ends, and this is where marketing started. Then we came into the sales. Now post sales, what should we do? Post sales, what we should do? Our
Any
CRM domain
service?
deals, yeah, good. Our CRM domain deals with three categories, isn't it? Three departments: marketing,
service.
sales, and service. So we have seen marketing, we have seen sales, we have started having an overview of the sales. Okay,
Sales,
what is sales
marketing,
involved?
service.
Yeah, good. So now we will enter into service. Now, once you have delivered your orders, it has become an asset for you. Now, what are you going to do with these assets? What should you do with these assets? Should you safeguard those assets or throw them apart?
Yeah, we
We
have
need to
to.
safeguard, isn't it? Someone is using our assets now. We sold, they bought it, our assets are with them. Do you safeguard it or will you throw it away?
Safeguard.
We have to safeguard it. Fine. We want our customers to make best use of our assets, isn't it? We want them to make best use of our assets. So because we created, we manufactured, we own those products which we have actually given it to them, they might be facing some challenges. The end users are customers who are actually using them. The customers who are using our assets, fine, the customers who are using our assets might be facing some issues. Yes or no? Will it happen or not? Fine. Now suppose you bought a MacBook, you purchased it, so they have sold it, so now your MacBook is an asset for them. Now once you start using it, do they want you to give you the best service or will they ignore you hereafter? They want to give you the best service, isn't it? So now they'll have to keep track. So you might be facing some problems. So customers who are using our assets might be facing some challenges. So technically, what do we call it as? Technically, what do we call it as? What is that you can see on the screen now? What is it considered as?
Case.
So now that's a,
Service.
yeah, that's a case. There's a challenge what they're encountering. I'm not saying it's a problem. It's a challenge what they're facing. I don't know how to move between, various windows or various tabs in my MacBook. So there's nothing error in my MacBook. It's a challenge which I am facing. I don't know how to use it. So what do I do now? I contact the support, isn't it? Each company says support email ID or support. They have a toll-free number. They have email IDs, so many chat boxes, so many things they have in order to support you. So from that business point of view, someone who's using the CRM, fine, because we were the company who were using and we were selling our products to others. Now the problem that they have encountered from our point of view is now a case. So because we were using a CRM, we have sold some products to Bhavani. Now the employees of or the customers of Bhavani are actually using our equipments, our devices, and now they have some challenges and they come back to our support system. They reach our support system for some help. Then from our point of view, the employees or the customers of Bhavani are now encountering something called as a case. Now they have encountered something called as a case. So case is like customers who are using our assets might be facing some challenges, some issues. So that's a case for us. Fine. So do you see the tab here, cases? And you see something called solutions. And we are in which app here? We are in which app still?
Yes.
Yes.
Sales.
We are still in sales, because sales will have everything, whatever you want. So now what do we do is, from sales, I will
Sales.
navigate service. So from sales, I will navigate to service. So what do you have in service? Now I have my account, I have my contacts. So the account and contact put together is my customer now. So in CRM, when you say who's your customer, where is my customer information? Fine. So your account plus contact who have entered into your asset is actually treated as the customers. So the contact plus the account plus the contacts who are being involved with our assets are actually our customers. So you can see account and contact both here, and now they'll encounter a case. So I'm clicking on case to see what happens. Your navigation steps are still the same, a new case. So now you could see here there's a contact name and there is an account here. So contact name, we have one contact, so Bhavani is a point of contact. Automatically the account name has been loaded here. Fine, automatically you'll see the account has been selected. So what type of a problem is this? Mechanical, electrical, electronic, structural? Just we are choosing it as electronic as of now. What is the reason for that case? Installation problem, equipment complexity, performance, breakdown. So let us say one of the QHD TVs has breakdown. Fine. So anything you might have, you can choose. Fine. There's nothing. We just want to understand the process and the sObjects, not the data which we're feeding there. So status, it's new, they're working, or it's already escalated, it's been delayed, no one is responding. Fine. So it's new. What is the priority? Let's put Bhavani's case as high priority. Case origin, how did they get to us? This is the mode of reaching us, isn't it? Our support system works through phone or email or web. Web is something like you chat with someone there, right? You send an email. Phone, you make a call and tell them like there's an issue. So let's choose phone. Anything you choose, doesn't matter. Right? Additional information, all they have, you can ignore it for time being. Now you again see something has come up here. We are already familiar with this name. We have seen this elsewhere. Can you tell me where we have seen this?
Leads.
Leads, right? Good. So when we're
Leads.
working with, we got a similar checkbox. Assign using active assignment rules. So we had a similar thing. So now let's say save. So we received a case and we saved it. So we see the information. This is a feed and you can go to details. You can see everything there. So what is that we need to provide to this case? Now a case has come to us. What should our support system do? What should we provide them?
Solution.
Good. So we'll be
Solution.
providing it. So what is it? What is the solution? Solution is like fixing a case. Fix the case. That's the solution. So fixing the case is a solution. So the moment you go there, fine, you can see there's a nice bulb glowing floor and it says find some solutions and all. But we don't have a solution. What do I find here? Very difficult for me to find. So what I do is I'll open another tab, solutions. So in another tab, I'll open solutions. 1 second. Fine. So let's go down solutions. As of now, no solutions. Let's create one solution, new solution title, major breakdowns. So that's the solution title. What solutions do you give? What are the details? What to do? What is the solution you are recommending them?
Turn off and turn on.
Okay, good. So best statement for that is restart the device. That doesn't work. It does not work. What to do?
Check power
Soak it,
cables. So water.
soak it in water for 30 minutes. The problem will be solved.
Right.
Yeah, inside water. Soak it in water for 30 minutes.
Then dry it in the sun.
Your choice. You can put ganji and also dry it, no problem. Your choice. So save. We have one solution here. Very simple solution. Solution title is major breakdowns. The details, this is what you see. And just for you to understand this concept, how simple it is, you call to customer care, right? And most common customer care that which we call is with respect to our internet itself. That's the major thing which gives us the trouble. And call here in Hyderabad, we use something called as Act Fiber. At times it goes down. It's a quite good, decent, pretty decent, very nice service. But at times it goes down. And the moment that generally it's there from morning, class is going to start at 7:30, 7:20, the net goes down. And then you call the customer care. So the customer care now receives a case. Fine. And I say, my net was working fine since morning, but now I see all of a sudden it's down. Now the person who actually takes the call will try to verify who you are. So she'll try to ask me, or he would like to ask me, like, can you provide me with your registered mobile number or your registered email ID? Can you tell me your date of birth? So they try to cross verify some information, and then they say, okay sir, registered, I mean you're the right person, the correct owner. So let me know what is the issue, since when is the issue? And you say like 10 minutes back things came down, I'm not able to use anything now. Fine, so good. They say, like, do you see the Wi-Fi symbol glowing on your mobile? They say, do you see that two computers, a light blinking between those two? And they say, do you see a small light glowing on your router? Do you see that light blinking? The fourth light is actually blinking there. Is the fourth icon blinking there? They ask you all these questions. Do you think those people have learned networking like CCNA, CCNE? They're all network engineers. Do you think they know all these? Is it?
No, they
How come
follow
they?
script.
Yeah, good. And what is that script that which they are following?
They have standard solutions, like it's a bunch of solutions.
Yeah, so what we have
And
just written there, right? So restart the device. If it does not work, soak it in water for 30 minutes. So this is what we wrote, but there they would be having a sequence of statements. So option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, nothing works. Then what do they do? You say, yes, it is glowing, yes, it is working, yes, this is all happening. Now next what will they do? They'll just
then
say,
someone,
okay, we will register your case within next 24 or 48 or 72 hours, your issue will be resolved. So they save it as a case, and then the appropriate team is going to take care of it. Very simple, isn't it? So they have some solutions on hand, a quick solution. They try to fix it that way. If that doesn't work there, then this case gets escalated and it goes to appropriate department, and they would take care on the field how to fix the exact issue. And this is how it works. Fine. So now let's go back to our case. Anyways, have our case. So we have our case here. Fine. And this case now needs a solution. So let's say find solutions. Enter some keyword. So we type there major. Sorry. Now, how many solutions have been found here? One solution, isn't it? For major, so there's a major breakdowns. Restart the device. If it does not start, soak it in water for 30 minutes. So this is how they see the solutions. They say when your net is not coming, fine. So they say no internet, find solution. They find some solutions. They come up here and they keep reading it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing works. They say, okay, we register your case and let's take it forward. Fine. So now, if this is going to fix the issue, I'll select it. If this is going to fix it, I'll select it. Now, with respect to that case, you will see a solution. And if the problem is fixed, we say close case. So internal comments, easy to fix. device in water. Now you say save. That's it. Okay. What is the status? Say closed. Fine. So this is what happens. So the case is currently closed, and this is the solution that which we have given them, and the issue is now fixed. So this is how we work. So how many sObjects do you think we have covered so far? Can you tell me the names? Total. Someone who can give a complete count of names of the sObjects? Yeah. Can anyone start? Neelam, can you start?
First 5 is object where are campaign, leads,
Okay.
account,
Campaign, leads,
contact,
account, contact,
contacts,
account,
opportunities.
opportunities. Then what do you do once you get an opportunity? Yes, next. Nitish, can you continue from there?
After opportunity, we have products, price books, and quotes.
Good.
And
Product
then
price. Based on that, we generate quotes. Good. Next, what after quotes?
and contract,
Okay. Based on
Forecast.
quote, now we enter into a contract. After contract,
Order,
orders, we have,
order. Good.
and then
Good.
after orders, we'll have
Order
cases and
because it
solutions.
becomes asset.
Asset,
Once
asset.
once we give them the assets, they'll get cases, and we shall provide them with solutions. So how many subjects covered? Yeah. How many subjects covered? Anyone?
almost 10.
Including
10
forecast
12,
15.
12, I think
12,
12 or 13.
13th,
Yeah. If you ignore forecasting, then
14.
14. Good. If you remove forecasting, it is 14.
Yes.
Okay. So we have campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, product, price book, quote. After quote, what did we do? They placed an order.
contract,
Okay. You took
Contract.
contract. Okay. Then based on the contract, you took the order.
Order.
And based on the order, you delivered it, became asset. Then the asset, they have a case, and then you provided a solution. So without
And 13
forecasting,
13.
yes. So without forecasting, it is 13. If you include forecasting, it becomes 14. Fine. So good, 14 as objects with which we have actually worked. Good. So we just started with 5, right? Core subjects we started with 5 and we ended up with 14 subjects. Now, is the business flow clear for you people? What is happening? How is it taking place? And this is like B2B, business to business, isn't it? Business to business. One business is getting associated with another business and they're providing services to them. So this is how it works. It's a B2B model working. And we have discussed about 13, but name wise we know 14 sObjects. Names wise we know 14 sObjects. Good. Now let's discuss few more sObjects. But these sObjects, you can't say they are for marketing, sales, or service. They are throughout Salesforce. It is not for your CRM. You can't say they are for my custom applications. I'm creating a hospital management. I'm creating a school management. I'm creating a rental management. No matter which application you're building on the platform of Salesforce, it doesn't matter. The next few objects will definitely exist wherever you go. It is always there. Fine. Can you tell me one tab which was throughout with us?
Dashboards.
Anything else? With your custom tabs
contact,
also. With your custom also. You created something. You created custom apps also, isn't it? You have created custom apps. Initially, you started with custom apps. So what did you see there?
Home.
Home is something which is there always, right?
account,
So See, when you created custom app, did you have account in that?
No.
No, you didn't have. But there is one tab which was there in your custom apps and your standard apps, something which was common throughout. One tab which was common throughout. Which tab?
Yeah, home.
Good. So that's the home tab. See, if my tab is accounts, if my tab is contacts, I know what's the sObject. Accounts, what is the sObject which is connected with this tab? Which is the sObject?
Account.
Account, right? Contacts. So which is the sObject that is connected with this contacts sObject?
Contact.
Contact.
So easy. Fine. Now you tell me, which is the sObject connected
Home.
with home?
Home.
If it is homes, then it is home. That itself is home.
Home.
Then what do you think is the sObject here? Very easy to answer. Someone made a guess also.
Excluding year.
What is it? So home is connected to an sObject which is named as activity. Home is connected with an sObject that's named as activity. There are a lot of things inside that home tab, fine, but one sObject you can consider there is activity. So this is one sObject in Salesforce, activity, that's connected with every other sObject in Salesforce. You created a patient sObject, yes, activity is connected to that. You created a employee sObject, activity will be connected to that. You create a student sObject, activity will be connected. You create a travel sObject, then activity is connected to that. So activity is one sObject in Salesforce that's connected with every other sObject in Salesforce. So that's something which is connected with every sObject of Salesforce. So that's activity. It is always connected with every sObject, and you can see that. I'll go to accounts. I'll choose a record here. Fine. This is some details about that account. I browse down and I see here something called open activities, activity history. So there is something called activity. I choose, some other app altogether. Fine. Let me go to, there's something created. CyberView rental management system. I don't think so. We have records in them. So rentals, contracts, rental agreements, statements, you have all these. I'm not sure. Yeah, we don't have any records in them because we kept it for a project. So we only created the schema and students are working on this project. Fine. So let me choose some dummy app. It has something called employees, and I believe we do have employees. So 157 employees. Now if I look into that record employee, the next two sections are open activities, activity history. Fine. So every sObject in Salesforce, standard or custom sObject, doesn't matter, is always connected with this sObject called activities. And what does this activity include? Activity is again the other sObject in Salesforce that internally has two more sObjects. It internally has two more sObjects inside it. And these two sObjects are task and event. The two other sObjects in them are task and event. So task is something like, what you have to do is a task. So ask you, tomorrow morning we are going to meet. I'll tell my executive, tomorrow morning you'll have to go and meet Bhavani. She's going to give us an order. So that's a task, fine. And I say, you're going to meet Bhavani at 9 a.m. Now that becomes an event. When you specify a time with it, then it basically becomes an event. And when you say a work that which has to be done, then that's actually a task, and activity is a combination of task and event. What when has to be done, then that becomes our activity. So when are you going to do and what are you going to do is an activity. Now you say this Sunday we do not have any activities, I'm free this Sunday. So what does it mean? There are no activities, there is nothing to do on Sunday, so you have no activities. We had no activities this summer, all are in lockdown, isn't it? So no activities this summer, so I don't have anything to do on this, a time in which I'm not doing anything, then you say activities. Fine. So for the marriage, you know, we have engaged people in so many activities. So there is an event there and you have something to be done there, so you call it as an activity. So activity is a combination of task, something has to be done, and then when you actually do it, it's a combination of both, then you call it as an event. Fine. And event internally is connected with another object that's called as calendar, because when you want to do something, it's always associated with a calendar. So if I get into this employee and when I see activities, I see here a new task and a new activity, sorry, a new event. So activity is a combination of task and event. It is having two records there, right? Anyone you create, it becomes an activity. So you choose a new task. Fine. Assigned subject, what do you want to do? Subject, meeting. Find status, with whom is this? So it's with Bhavani. Fine. Our employee is going to meet, so related to employee 157 E157, I'm going to talk to Bhavani. Fine. So it's very important, that's the comment which I'm leaving for that specific meeting. Fine. So for that task I'm specifying something. Fine. Now a reminder would come at around 8 a.m. in the morning and I say save. So now we have a task. Now you see open activities. So there is a meeting with Bhavani. We have that meeting. Fine. And new event. I can schedule an event as well. Subject, I'll call it as first meeting. I'll put it as first meeting. I'll be having with Bhavani. Location, it's on go to meeting. Fine. With respect to employee 157. And when is this event? It's from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's a 1 hour meeting I'm going to have with them. Fine. So remind me 15 minutes in advance. Save. So now I have a task, I have an event. So you can see that in a calendar format, we just get it here. Fine. So show me calendars in Lightning Experience. So when you look into Lightning Experience, this comes up as a calendar. So now we are in a tab called calendar. So 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Tuesday 19th, I have a meeting with Bhavan. Very simple. How come it is recorded in past? Today is 19th and in India we are evening 8:30. It says morning 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that's in US time zone. So that's the reason why from their zone still it's in future. So now whatever event I've scheduled, that directly enters into my calendar. Fine. So now you have everything ready. Activity was made up of task and event. Event is internally again connected to calendar. All these four are sObjects. All these four are sObjects. So altogether, how many sObjects we discussed? 17 we
16.
have worked. Yeah, 15, 17, 14 earlier, right? Now we added 4, but 18 altogether, isn't it? One is still pending. Forecast, we didn't work with that. Forecast, we put that for future, no problem as of now. We are not in a hurry to do something on that forecast. Fine. So now we are able to create records and see how the data is flowing between all the 18 or 17 sObjects for time being. Fine. So we discussed 17 sObjects and there's a lot happening between these 17. Fine. And most important, the reason why I wanted to discuss activity, task, and event is now when you get back into our CRM mode, fine, we are working with CRM, right? So let me go to campaign. We have, Hyderabad event or boards, whatever you choose boards. Fine. Campaign, open activities. Now to start a campaign, right? Suppose like what campaign have we have chosen? It's boards, right? So I can put boards wherever I want, isn't it? Someone takes those on lease from the GHMC, that's the municipal commission. They take it from them and they sublease it to us for some specific duration. So in order to put a board at some specific location, I'll have to meet someone, right? So then I engage in an event with them. I have a meeting with them and I get into that. And now you can see here, log a call. So I can log a call and say, I'm going to call that person at that specific point of time, or I'm going to send him an email at that specific point of time. So this is how activities will add value to my campaign. Fine. Activity says, okay, I want to call or want to send a mail or you want to meet personally, whatever it is, you can create it. Fine. So now you have an activity for your campaign. Same way, we might not have any leads because we converted our leads. Fine. There's no lead for us, but time being, let me write a lead. First name. Yeah. Anyone from the mail side, can you just let me know your name? Also, I'll have to navigate through my GoToMeeting and find your names. Yeah. So anyone? Anyone? Can you please tell your name? Yeah. Someone can come up with their name. Mails.
Sashi,
Okay, Sashi. Last name.
Karnati, K-A-R-N.
I took it as ready. No problem, right?
Yeah,
Good. So which company you belong to? Which your dream company?
Google. Google.
No, your dream company. You should own it here. We have Ready Labs. Let's put Ready Clouds. Nice. So title. Who are you there? Let's put the other way around. You're the founder of that company, right? Lead source. He came through some web. Through which campaign? Shashi has come through some boards. I'm not entering any data because I'm not going to take this record forward. Fine, I'll just save it. And now again, there is open activities here. Because if Shashi comes as a lead to my business, I'll have to meet Shashi, talk with him and take things forward, isn't it? Otherwise, how will I convert Shashi into account contact and opportunity? How will I know what is his pulse? How interested is he in our business? Fine. So I have again meetings and all I can schedule with Shashi. So same, your activities will work everywhere. Again, go to contacts. We'll have to meet them, right? So we have Neelam here. So go back. You have Neelam here. Talk to Neelam. Directly, she'll not give any business to us. So again, open activities, open all these things. Then you go to opportunities. You have opportunity. You're talking with Ready Clouds. You have some opportunities there. So you'll have to talk to them, see what is happening, what activities you do. One single go, it never became closed one, isn't it? So it was right from beginning stage, stage by stage, stage by stage. So many stages were there here for us. We navigated through all these stages and then finally we came to that success conclusion, isn't it? So that is how it works. Same way when you have cases also. When you have a case also, you might have to keep iterating. Probably we have opened the wrong tab, but that's okay. Let's go back to our switch to classic here. Fine, you might go to your select your service, go to your cases. So you have a case. You might have to re-meet that case, isn't it? It might not be a simple case. It could be a complex case. You might have to meet them multiple times. Then you will log an activity with them. Fine. So this way, activity will be associated with every sObject in our business. So whether it's with related to CRM or it's outside the domain of CRM, even in a rental management, everywhere, anywhere you go, you always have activities associated, and these are bunch of 4 sObjects. Activity by itself is an sObject. It has task and event. Task and event again goes into your, task event becomes your calendar. So this way, one data keeps flowing from front to back and it keeps going ahead. Fine. So you have everything this way designed and everything works. Isn't it? So this is how it actually works. So complete flow of sObjects. Complete business process. It's a pretty decent business process, which by default in Salesforce is existing. Fine. So now what to do with this existing flow? What does it happen and how does the entire business work in Salesforce? Right. Let us try to understand something in more detail now. We just got an overview of this CRM. Fine. Okay, so we'll see in multiple dimensions, like how this gives business, how this keeps creating business in the entire market. Fine. Are you all familiar with some name called App Exchange? Are you familiar with the name called App Exchange? Have you heard this App Exchange? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
You have heard this name. What happens here? What is this App Exchange?
It's a place to sell. I mean, apps are placed like kind of like Play Store, but for
Okay,
Salesforce.
okay, good. So you have a detailed force of it. Fine, just give me 1 second. So many apps are available for your business. Fine, they are not for individuals. Apps which are available on your App Exchange are for B2B. Like you don't find your media player apps, games apps and all there. So these are something B2B applications which will actually help you. So let's just take something with respect to what we have learned. uh, did we create something called quote? Have we created something called quote? Do you remember we created quote?
Yes.
Whom did we send this quote to?
That's correct, Bhavani.
We sent it to Bhavani, right? Good. Who will sign on that quote? Quote acceptance signature was there, right?
Bhavani only.
She has to sign it. So what do you think is the procedure
Contact.
to sign it? Yeah. Contact was Bhavani, so she is going to sign it. So we sent an email. How do you think she's going to sign it now?
E-sign.
It's a PDF. It's a PDF what I've sent her. So
E-sign.
she'll take
E-sign.
a print of it, right?
Digital.
She'll sign, scan it, send it back. Very simple, isn't it? But if Salesforce is installed in your org and you're actually working with that Salesforce, what happens? Let us see. So now let us try to understand something about this App Exchange. So Salesforce App Exchange recommended to you solutions by type, product collections, industry collections. So click on industry collections. You have products for whom? Communication, education, financial, government, healthcare, manufacturing, media, real estate, retail, all these are there. So product collections, you see like Salesforce products are there, Service Cloud are there, so many things are there. Fine. So you see so many different Einstein related products. But what are these? What have these got to do? So let me do something here. I'm searching for something. In that search, I typed electronic signature. Fine. And now there are so many apps which have been displayed, 127 results apps. So different electronic signatures, e-signatures, Adobe Sign, Simple Sign, Easy Sign, DocuSign. You see so many apps, and when I'm placing my cursor on it, there's a side window, something which is popping up. So once I hover my mouse on it, so I see some application description starting from $30 USD per month per user, discounted for non-profits. So works in lightning ready, professional and up. What is this professional and up? We have seen various editions of Salesforce, isn't it? So professional, enterprise, we had all these. So from professional, anything on top of it will work. There are no limits enforced. It works even on your Salesforce One mobile. So you have Salesforce mobile apps, it works. So same way there is Doc Verify. So these apps. So now when I have this app and when I send it with a signature to you, so you sign it actually with the help of this DocuSign. I'll just try to help you out with one of those if I might have. This is Harish. Okay, double push. So let me put it this way. I'll type something like here. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, this was one part. See, where was that? He didn't send it to somebody. Okay, there was some business agreement which we had. So I just wanted to show you. He has sent it through, DocuSign, because we both of us have DocuSign. So it took me only 1 second to sign the document and send it back. Of course, I had to see all the, complete terms and conditions in it. Blindly can't sign it, but to sign it's not more than a minute. It's just very simple. Fine. So I'll just start. Yeah. So this is how we got it. Fine. This is just in a PDF format, right? When I try to open this, this actually comes up as a PDF. Now it's in a PDF format. Fine. It'll ask me to sign on this side. So the same thing what we have done is we have opened it in DocuSign, signed it and sent it across. That's it. All over in one single step. Fine. So this is how business applications help. So taking a printout, signing it, scanning it, again sending it back is a time consuming thing. Where if I have a DocuSign, I can immediately sign it off and send it back. So it's on the spot. So this is B2B applications. These kind of applications, I'm just giving you one simple scenario because you have come across that situation now. So you encountered that, you have seen a need for it. So if there are so many people working in the organization, various departments, and you have to sign these contracts and send them across, so many contracts keep taking place in a business. Now no one is going to take print out, sign and do all these things. So they make use of such efficient applications which will help. So this is something like your B2B model, a B2B application which is actually helping us. So DocuSign is one such. Several are there, but DocuSign, is one of the most popular in the industry. DocuSign. Fine. So that's what you have. So who built it? Now that's a product. People build it, host it. So this way they analyze the needs in B2B and they come up with services. These are called as products. So DocuSign is a product. Fine. So which has been created by some company and they have hosted it on App Exchange. So this way nearly we have about 4,000 4,500 odd applications on App Exchange which are meant for B2B purpose. These are not gaming or entertainment applications. These are B2B applications which you have and they help in the business. So that's one segment of the market which is covered well by Salesforce. So these apps are available at App Exchange. Fine. This is one understanding of ours. Now the other part, if already everything is given in CRM, fine, everything is there in that CRM, you have everything there. What is that we are going to do then? Where are we going to work? So now there's a second thing. Now let's try to understand. Now there's a campaign. Let me say new. Fine, like yesterday also we named it. I call it as TV ads. Which type? So we say advertisement. So it is active. Fine. If nothing is mandatory, I'll just leave it because that's the record is not of much use. But the way now we are going to work with it is going to make sense. Now we have TV ads. Fine. Now there is a parent campaign. When you say edit, it'll look for parent campaign here. Fine. So what next I'll do is I'll again go back to campaign and I'll say new and I'll choose here 10 sports conference advertisement planned, everything fine. I'll go to parent campaign and now I'll choose TV ads. So now I've chosen something called TV ads. Fine. And now save. You got my approach now. So what did I plan? What did I do actually? First, I created a campaign called TV ads. Then I created another ad called 10 sports and I've come and merged it. I connected it with a parent called TV ad. So it was a lookup relationship. Fine. Next, I might go with something called Star Plus. Again, I'll connect TV ads. Fine. And I'll choose Z movies, TV ads, then I'll choose HBO, TV ads. So I'll have all my parent information there. And again, I will connect all these different channels to that TV advertising. So this is perfect. This is fine. Absolutely no issues. Looks good. Pretty nice also. When I'm creating a hierarchy there, everything starts appearing very nice. Okay, in TV ads, now we have Z ads, we have HBO and all other channel different ads. Now, when it comes to costing, the price of this ad, what is the price per second? What is the per second price? It might vary from channel to channel, time to time also. When you have more number of users, viewers who are watching it, your pricing per second will increase. When you have less number of viewers, automatically your pricing will decrease. Where am I having all this information? And suppose there is a cricket match going on. So let's put it on 10 sports. So there's a cricket match going on. What is the frequency of my ad? When do I want that ad? So I say you put it at like end of each over. Fine. So end of each over. Okay, good. Then what kind of a match is it? Is it a T20 match? Is it a 50 over match? Is it a test match? So in a day, how many times will my ad come? Not sure. And even though if it's a 50-50 overs match also, you say you'll have it for 100 overs. What is it? Why will it be for 100 overs? First team might have batted for 50 overs, second over has achieved the target in 30 overs. That's it. So now there are no 20 overs bowled additionally. So there is no advertising for us in the next 20 overs. So what is the price now? What is the amount we are going to pay? So nothing is clear here. So what to do? What to do now? I can't track what is happening with this basic TV ads information. Then what do I do? Now we actually go to setup. Now in setup, now we'll go to customize. In customize, I go to campaigns and now I want to work with fields of campaign. So now we will work with fields of campaign. So now you see standard fields. Wow, there are so many standard fields in campaign. And at the end, I have custom fields and relationships. Now I can create my own fields. Now say new. Are you familiar with these pages or is it something new to you? Are you familiar
Familiar.
with this page?
Yeah,
This is
Yes.
how you created fields, isn't it?
Yes.
Fine. Once this is done, let's say I want to create some validation rules. So let me click on validation rules. I click new. Are you familiar with this page or is it a new page?
Familiar.
It's your same old validation rule page, right? Same way, let me come to page layout. You try to create a new page layout or edit, whatever it is, when it will end up in the same place. So familiar with this? Familiar with this? You have your
Yes.
palette window on top and you have
Yeah.
your drag fields at the bottom. So you drop whatever you want to drag and drop, you will do it. You're familiar with all these things, isn't it? Similarly, your search layouts, compact layouts, your record types, you're familiar with all these customizations already. Fine. So now these kind of things, when I'm trying to customize it for a specific client and they want to do it, now this is something called as service. So earlier we have seen something called products and this is something called service. So when you apply for jobs, when you go for an interview, they ask you like which company you work for and they say, was it a product based or is it a service based company? Fine. So when you say a product based company, that means you have a specialization, you create something and you sell it to your clients. So like Samsung is building some mobile phones and selling to their clients. Samsung is building some televisions and selling it to their clients. So they're all products. Fine. On the other hand, when we say service, someone has a requirement and according to that requirement we are tailoring the existing environment, then it becomes service. So you're working for a specific client. So when you're working for some specific client, then it becomes service based, and you already have a specialization and you're building something, then it becomes product. So some companies do both, like you take TCS, they have their own products also, and there are plenty of clients for whom they give the service also. There are some companies who exclusively work as product based companies. So we have product based companies and we have service based companies. So this way it works, and this is where we will start working. No one will ask you to create a campaign or lead or an account or contact as object. No one does that. These are already there, but this is only a skeleton model. Like we said initially, this is just a skeleton system what you have. Fine. And this you'll have to customize it according to the requirement of your end user. So we'll have to go beyond the out of box what is available, and then we build everything for those clients. And again we get into the model, and whatever is possible in GUI mode, this is what you actually build here. And something beyond that GUI mode, if you have to build, fine, so then you get into your develop and you start working there. Clear? And whether it's a product or a service, whatever it is, once it is deployed to the client, then you enter into your administrator mode. So this is how it works. So your platform is same everywhere, but if you have already sObjects which are provided, the standard features which are given by Salesforce, then you customize them in GUI mode. If the features are not there, you try to build it in GUI mode, then you use the create there. And when nothing is possible through GUI, you'll have to build it in scripting mode, then you get into the develop. And whether it's a product or a service, once everything is available and ready for your client to use and it is deployed to your production, this is where administrator actually comes into the picture. So this is the entire flow, how we actually work in Salesforce. And these are the various things that which we develop based on the requirement. Either we build products or we work for services. But the nature of what we do is, whether you call it as a product or a service, as a developer, we have to work according to the given requirements. Is the requirement given by an external client or is it your internal company requirement? Doesn't matter. Requirement is requirement end of the day, and you'll have to start doing either config, then you go to develop, then you go to testing, and finally you deploy it and it undergoes administration. So our steps would be same, but we have discussed the CRM to keep in mind like what sObjects are already existing and what service they already provide. Otherwise, if someone will tell you a requirement, you go back and again start building everything from scratch. Why do you do when it is already existing in Salesforce? What is the necessity to rebuild when it is already existing? So when we know when there is already something existing, we reuse it. And wherever there is a gap, we fill it by creating something for that, which is apt for that requirement. We create it and we close those gaps. That was the reason why we discussed about this CRM. That's reason one. Reason two, again, why we have discussed about all this is tomorrow when you're gathering requirements, either internal or external, it will be in a functional point. They say create a campaign which works this way, and the opportunities should reflect here. So when they are giving you some requirements, they will be in terms of these as subjects only. And when it is in terms of these as objects, you will understand it better what they say, because you know the as objects, you know their meaning, you know what kind of data they're holding, you know the interconnection between these as objects. Now mapping the real world CRM requirements actually becomes easy for you. So that was another reason why we actually discussed this CRM. So what you would be doing, how you would be working, that's one part of it. Then how do you map with what is already existing? How do you identify the gaps? How do you fill those gaps is the other part. So this is to give you an idea what a CRM, a nutshell, because 4-5 days, you can't expect much from nothing beyond this, but it's a good, decent understanding of our CRM, what we have. Yes, in elaborated way also we can do it, but as a developer you won't need it. If you want to be a sales consultant, a marketing consultant, or a service cloud, fine, the cloud is already there, it's always there. So the sales cloud consultant, marketing cloud consultant, service cloud consultant, if you want to find jobs in those areas, yes, then you can shift towards the sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud. Then we can discuss more functional, what else is available, what you can add on top of these, so it makes sense. But until then, this understanding is very good, pretty much decent for a developer or a senior developer to start building Salesforce CRM products or any other product for that matter. Fine. We still have something else to discuss with respect to the CRM, because now from SaaS we have actually moved on to the PaaS. And we were always coming across some terms, which again I'll show you here. Did we come across this term there? Assignment rules. So we will see what
Yes.
these are and how to work with them. Fine. So there are some features which are not available for your regular custom objects, but there are additional features available for some, not all, but few standard objects have some additional functionalities, like the one which is on your screen now, lead assignment rule, if you can see. So there is something extra here. So you have something additional. So we will be working with this. So tomorrow's session we will be entering into the PaaS of CRM. We have seen the SaaS part. Now we will see the PaaS of CRM. So that's something for us from tomorrow. So we have covered the overview with respect to SaaS of CRM. Now we have to look into the PaaS of CRM. So tomorrow's session, we will start with the PaaS of Salesforce. Meanwhile, you can navigate across all these, whether your count is 16, 17, 18, that should not matter, but you should be able to navigate across them and find the other thing which left out. I'll have to show you in the lightning interface also, isn't it? So tomorrow first we'll do it in the lightning interface, then we will enter into the PaaS part of it. Fine. So working with all these as objects in lightning interface, and then let's enter into the PaaS of CRM. Let me know if you have any doubts. You can ping me on WhatsApp. Most of the time, I try to respond as quickly as possible, but if I'm held up with some meetings or other sessions, it generally gets delayed, but otherwise I try to respond as quickly as possible. So keep working. You get a good idea of the SaaS. It's always good. It helps you down the line when you're implementing projects. It will actually help you. The understanding will help you. So try to work with them. Fine. So thank you very much. Any doubts, anything needs to be clarified, please let me know.
Sir, if we accidentally convert a wrong lead, how to unconvert it? How to undo that?
Why will you do it by mistake, first of all?
I mean, it could be a possibility, right? Like a customer care executive might have selected a wrong lead and converted it.
See,
Now they
customers
want
do
it.
not use your CRM. It is employees who use your CRM. You don't go to a bank and you don't deposit or withdraw, isn't it?
No, like a marketing executive might not do that. Like
Marketing
marketing
executive is
executive.
one who uses it. People on the road will
Huh.
not use my organization account, isn't it? If Coca-Cola
No, like
is using a CRM, will you use Coca-Cola's app? No way, right?
no, I'm talking from Coca-Cola's point of view. Coca-Cola is using a CRM. They'll have marketing executives, right? So they'll
Huh,
be converting a lead. So when they
huh.
convert a lead, what if by mistake they convert a wrong lead? How to undo that?
That's what
Get
I'm
back.
saying. There is nothing like
Okay.
I'll convert it wrong. First point.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should be very clear, first of all. Because it is not my personal choice, I will convert something, isn't it? It should go according to the organization's flow. Right? But if still that happens, there are ways to get back also. There is a merging mechanism. You convert it, the reverse of that is merge. Account, contact, and opportunity, you merge, it comes back into your lead. So you can programmatically do it. No problem.
Okay.
It is possible. Everything will be possible, isn't it? Because Salesforce also knows there will be great people who will be working on this application. Good. Anything else? Anyone else? Anything else?
And is it necessary for price book every time to add a product to a price book? What if there is no discount and the list price is same as the MRP?
It's a standard price book then. Go with standard price book.
Oh, okay.
Standard price book will have the same price, isn't it? So there's always a standard price book. Then on top of that, we create our price books to give any discount at all. If no discount, don't create a price book. Very simple.
Okay.
Good, good. Anything else? Good, good thinking. Good. Okay, then fine. So we are done for the day. Let's get connected tomorrow again and look with lightning interface first and then get into the pass. Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. In case of any doubts, please ping me. No issues.